nymph.
That'll be exciting. Perfect. Okay. Hi, my name is Tina Fallant. I danced with the Mark Morris Dance Group for 20 years, from 1980 until the year 2000. I was an original cast member of L'Allegro Il Penseroso Il Moderato, which was choreographed in 1988 and premiered at the Teatro Royal de la Monnaie. And I danced in that piece, and interestingly enough, because this is the Kennedy Center, my last performance was at the Kennedy Center in 1999. The creation of L'Allegro, it's a long story that I will condense. I believe Mark first listened to the music in the early 80s. He's always very interested in Baroque music, always loved Handel, the music of Handel. So he was thinking about this music. The Mark Morris Dance Group, such as it was in the mid-late 80s, we were touring around the world and ended up in Stuttgart, the Stuttgart Festival, where we met Gérard Mortier, the director of the Teatro Royal de la Monnaie at the time. And again, long story short, he invited the company to move to Belgium. And so Mark conceived this idea to do L'Allegro as his first piece there. We were all set to move in September of 1988. But up until that time, we were traveling around in the country and touring and doing our work and freaking out and having auditions. And we had auditions in New York that, I don't know, 500 people must have come to pick extra company members. And while we were at Brockport, Mark started working on L'Allegro. He worked on 3 sections, Haste Thee Nymph, Haste Thee Nymph, and Come and Trip It As You Go. Come and trip it as you go. And then also what became known as the diet dances, which I would get in trouble with Mark, but I can't remember the text for that one right now, but also in Act 1. So we worked on those 3 sections. It was very hot. Oh God, it was so hot. It was like summer in upstate New York. We were really, everything was just hot. I remember being in this sweating studio doing this crazy, the Thracian step from Haste Thee Nymph, the little heel clicky thing. And we're all freaking out because we're moving to another country, so there was a lot of emotional things going on. And there was a Jeopardy tournament on television that we would all watch every night. And we played Joni Mitchell and just cry. So we got to Brussels, which was exciting and scary, and we had these studios, the big studios at Rue Barras, and we had been a company of 10 people, and now we were a company of 24 people. Some of them were a lot younger. Those of us who were in the company in the 80s were contemporaries of Mark and had a different relationship with him. So Mark was creating this huge piece. He'd never made anything that massive before. It was a full-length work. So everyone was a little tense, but excited at the same time. Mark, actually, in terms of the creation of the movement, he works very quickly. So in the studio time, you're always ready to first replicate and then manipulate the movement that he was creating. So he would say, well, you know, do this. So you learn that really quickly. And then he'd say, okay, Tina, Come and Trip It on the other side from Susan. So then I had to reverse the whole thing and do it on the other side. And that piece turned into a mirror dance. But it's the Come and Trip It As You Go starts out with 2 women and they're a mirror of each other. And that just came from him looking at me and saying, you, reverse it. So the time in the studio was very much active, and a lot of the talking came at different points. And we worked long hours. Mark taught class, we were all getting to know each other. We would go out all together in very large groups after rehearsal and eat and drink, and well, the food in Brussels is incredible. And then in the course of that, I don't think during the process of this very difficult creation period that anyone knew what we were going to end up with. The first time we all put on our chiffon dresses is like, oh, oh, I feel beautiful in this dress. Because Mark had always been not attracted so much by traditional beauty, like the idea of women in pretty dresses, pretty flowing chiffon dresses. We were downtown hippie renegades shopping at thrift stores for our costumes. So to have like this beautiful silk chiffon and the colors, I mean, that felt very different. We had danced in opera houses, but it really did feel special. So I don't know, we must have done it like 20 or 25 times by the time the curtain came down that first year, and we were just all exhausted and had no idea. The audience response was very positive, and in fact, up until at the end of our tenure in Brussels when we did the Hard Nut, probably the best audience responses that we got the whole time that we were there.